Hello, it is Lissa from 98.5 KRZ, back with another local live music podcast, bringing you the Northeast PA musicians you need to know. And today I have Chris Hludzik. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
I don't know why I have to say your name like that. I always say it with a stupid accent.
That's all right. At least you pronounce it right.
I asked you last time, I saw you about a week ago, well, whenever open mic night was, a couple weeks ago, and I said, is it Hludzik? That H is silent, right?
Yeah.
Does everyone ask you that?
Yes, everyone asks me that. Everyone always actually asks me, because a lot of people from the area know the name because Jerry Hludzik from the band Dakota, but we're not related, which is weird. We have the same last name, but we're not related. Everything says, Jerry your uncle or is Jerry your dad? No. But I worked with Jerry when I worked at the studio, so I did get to know Jerry.
Does he get that about you? Do people ask him if
Probably not.
I mean, I would think so. I just assumed you guys were related.
No,
not at all. So you're from Archbald. You are a singer, songwriter, engineer, producer, father.
Yes.
Which I always ask this of every parent that I get in this studio. Do you hope that your kid, like how old is your kid now?
He's 4.
Are you hoping he's someday a musician, or are you like, no, be a dentist, be something
I always
safe?
joke with my wife, I hope he's a drummer because that's the only instrument that I can't play. Or a really good piano player because I can't really do that either.
You can do a lot though. So drums and piano are the only two you feel like you'd just be a hack completely. You
I
don't
played
even try.
piano on some songs on my albums and stuff, but it's like really like dopey, simple piano. Like
dopey, simple.
Yeah, but like, you know, if he ever wanted to get into it, I mean, he likes music. Like we play music in the car and he likes it.
Okay.
It's funny, Won't Get Fooled Again by The Who came on this morning when we were driving up to drop him off at preschool. He's like, Daddy, what's this song? I was like, this is The Who. He's like, The Hoot? Like an owl? I was like, no, The Who.
Oh, how adorable. Hey, you're raising him right. The kid likes The Who at 4 years old.
Yeah, but you know, I would never push him into it. If he wants to do it, great. I'll be there to, you know, help him out. But, you know, if he doesn't want to, you know, he can do whatever he wants to do.
It's at least cool that he digs music. What about your songs specifically? Does he like your music or you don't know?
It's funny because like when he was like really little, I would play the guitar for him and stuff, and he'd be like, Daddy, I don't like that song. He'd be like, okay.
Harsh.
Yeah.
You're like, you're the one fan I wanted. Come
I know,
on,
right?
Dude. That's too funny. How did you get started as a little kid?
Well, my late father was a huge music fan, and I just followed suit pretty much. He was the only person I knew growing up that had a music room in the house.
Wow.
I would go over to my friend's house and be like, where's your music room? I'm like, music room? What are you talking about? Like, well, if you have like a little clock radio above the sink, like that's I was like, oh, you don't have you don't have like a stereo, you don't have like speakers and everything. My dad had the whole shebang.
Wow.
I do in my house now too, and it's like I'm still like one of the only people I know that has that.
Hell yeah. What did that music room consist of for your dad? Speakers, obviously.
Turntable,
records.
Speakers, CD player, cassette player, just everything. Yeah, he didn't play his turntable for a while, and I would just flip through his records, and I was just like so interested. I'd read the liner notes, and that's really how I got into it because I wanted to like just learn more about all that.
I used to do the same with my dad's records, and I remember the Fleetwood Mac Rumors album, how it had that whole photo collage thing, and I would just stare at it for hours. So he didn't play anything necessarily. He was just a huge fan.
No, he would play music.
Okay.
I mean, he didn't play his records for a while, but then once records started, you know, getting back in vogue again, he got a new stylus for his turntable and started playing the records again.
Did he play guitar too?
When he was a kid, I think he said he took like 3 lessons and he quit.
Oh, jeez.
But he had a guitar, and I actually have the guitar now, and he would like never want me to play it. He'd be like, no, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it.
But he didn't play it either.
No, but he didn't play it either. he like knew a couple chords, like he knew how to play House of the Rising Sun.
Okay.
And that was about it.
That's
but like before he passed away, he let me have the guitar finally, and I fixed it up, and that was actually the guitar that I was playing out when we did the open mic night.
No way. Oh, that's so special. That's just got to be the most valuable thing.
Yeah, oh, it is. Absolutely.
Oh, my
Absolutely.
Lord. So was he around to see you get this good?
He passed away about a year into like me doing solo. He saw a couple bands I was in and stuff. But, like he was kind of old school. Like he was like, man, if you can't make the guitar cry and sing, then you know what are you doing it for? Like he always told me, he's like, oh, you'll not, you know, he's like, you know, Clapton. You know, I was like, well, I don't want to be Clapton. You know what I mean? And I think he was just trying to like not let me get my expectations so high.
Yes.
Which in hindsight wouldn't have been a bad thing to do.
But that is huge to remember.
But no, I mean, you know, he was, you know, he liked what he liked. He was very old school. Like he was Stones and Beatles. That was it. I always went a bit further with stuff. You know, he'd get into a band, I'd get into it like a little bit more.
Okay.
I think that kind of got under his skin.
Oh, you ratcheted it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But he definitely saw you on the trajectory to be successful.
Yeah, he knew he wasn't going to stop me from doing it regardless.
That's so cool. And he must have been so proud that his passion became your passion.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
So when you got started, did you take official lessons or did you learn YouTube?
No, the first song I learned was Ooh La La by The Faces because it's only 2 chords.
Works.
And but like I was looking at all this stuff. I mean, this was before the days of YouTube. I was going on like Chordify and e-guitar chords or whatever those websites were back then.
You don't know how good you have it.
Yeah, and like I would just look at chord charts and be like, okay, what chords does this song have? And I would like learn songs that I knew what the rhythm was, so I at least know how to. I'd have the rhythm down, and then I could figure out the chords, and at least I would know how to play it. And
I mean, it's so crazy that you went from guitar to then bass to then all these other instruments.
Yeah.
I only have ever wanted to play the piano. And even to get me into band in school, like I played saxophone and I loved it, but it was really a hard sell for my parents.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Well, when I started playing bass, I kind of did that more out of necessity. I was like doing recordings, and I was playing bass on my recordings for myself, and then I had a chance to be in a band. And they're like, well, you play bass, right? I was like, yeah, sure. And like I kind of learned on the fly, but then I actually got like okay at it. I'm by no means a great bass player, but like I can come up with good melodies and stuff, and that's kind of what I'm good at. I can come up with good melodies for stuff.
So you're Nikki Sixx is what you're telling me.
I wish I was Nikki Sixx. If I could write one Home Sweet Home, man, I'd be set.
Isn't that the truth? If everybody always says, oh, I would hate to be a one-hit wonder musician.
No.
I'm like, I wouldn't. If I could be, I don't know, Devo or something. They're paying their bills off Whip It still.
Oh, exactly.
I would love to be a one-hit wonder. I mean, come on. What was the first song you ever wrote? Do you remember the title of it?
Oh God, it was a terrible song. It was called The War.
The War.
And it was about war.
Heavy.
And I wrote it when I was like 14, and I had no idea what I was talking about.
You had just come home from the war?
It was just a dopey song. Yeah, like I knew what I was talking about. And then I wrote another song called The Almighty Dollar, which again I wrote when I was like 14. And what the hell do you know about money when you're 14 years old?
I love it.
So, but you kind of go through those growing pains like that, and then you're like, okay, this was crap. But okay, this was good, so we'll keep this one, and we'll try to do more of this.
Or this part of this one.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't even listen to my old stuff because it's that. You're kind of pretentious because you're writing about stuff. You've obviously only lived a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't be experienced, but it's so funny. What was the first paying gig you ever played? Do you remember?
Well, you're talking to an original musician, so paying gigs are few and far between. First paying gig I got, I probably played at this place in Oliphant called the I Cafe, which isn't there anymore. And I think the owner gave me like $20, and I was like, yes,
yeah,
$20 for like playing a 45-minute set. That's great.
It's money.
So
seems too good to be true when people are like,
oh, I know.
Well, we're going to pay you just to play songs.
It's like, what, really?
I would be doing this at home for free anyway.
Yeah.
When you were growing up, who was the person or band you were fanatical about? Were there one or two?
I hate to say like what my favorite bands and musicians are, because then people automatically want to compare you to them. But like, I sound nothing like the people that I like. Like, one of my favorite bands is Nazareth. I love Nazareth. And a lot of people around here only know like Hair of the Dog or Love Hurts. They have like 20 some albums, and they're all great and they're all different. That's what I love about them. I like them. I love Deep Purple. I like a lot of hard rock, 70s hard rock. Yeah. That's like my thing. I don't know. It's just, but I like a lot of newer stuff too. But like, yeah, Nazareth, I'm like very fanatical about. When I was a kid and I was first getting into vinyl, like I got on like a Styx and Grand Funk Railroad kick. The two most disparate bands you could get, but like.
Both awesome though.
Yes, I think so.
And I'm like you. I hate picking favorites because it depends on mood too.
Yeah.
What you're going through in your life. I want to listen to this today, but then I'm going through that
tomorrow, you'll go through phases. You like listen to like, okay, I'm feeling this today, so I'll listen to this album or whatever, That's so the truth. Why did you want to get into the engineering side of being in a studio, or did you just find it fascinating always? I had been recording on my own since like I started recording like my songs on like a little crappy boombox cassette recorder in like 2001 or something like that.
You had to record at the same time.
Yeah. Then I got a 4-track cassette recorder like a year later. And that's when I started doing it. And I started recording the bands that I was in. And I figured, well, you know what? If I'm going to be recording the bands I'm in, I should probably learn how to do it right. So I went to Sound Investments when they were still in Scranton. They offered a course of how to engineer, and that's where I had actually known Joe Ogleski, the engineer, Wiggy, because the band I was in the year prior to that, we recorded an album there, and that was really when I guess I should backtrack. That's really when the fascination with recording started, because I went in there and I felt like I was on the deck of the Starship Enterprise. I was like, look at all these buttons and levers, and oh my god, I must have asked Wiggy a million questions that day, but he was great, and like he's fantastic. Yeah, he's awesome.
Now that you are an accomplished engineer/producer, what do you think is the biggest time-wasting mistake that bands or musicians make in the studio?
Not being prepared.
Okay.
Just coming in and be like, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to wing it. And sometimes it works.
Sometimes that magic happens, but you can't count on it.
Yeah, but you can't count on it. And another thing is like when bands come in and they like, one thing that always used to tick me off when I worked at the studio was like bands would come in and like they would like waste time, like waste an hour like setting up, drinking coffee, smoking, whatever. And then they'd be like, oh, we had to pay for that time? It's like, yes, you have to pay for that.
Not here to hang out with you.
We're not here to hang out. This is work. But yeah, just bands not being prepared and not having really a clear idea of what they want to do with their songs. Like, having songs is great, but I think you should know what songs you want to do. If there's some songs you're not too sure of, kind of put them on the back burner a little bit.
Yes.
And then if another song doesn't work out, maybe we could bring that song back in and work on that. But, just wasting time in general is the big bugaboo.
And have a vision, like you said,
yeah,
of where you want this to go. And the same vision. Some bands, you can tell in talking to them, they're not all on the same page. You're like, you think you want this and you want that.
Yeah,
Talk
exactly.
to each other before you have that fight here.
And practice.
Practice. Do you tell people if their song is awful?
I don't have the heart to say it's awful, but I'll say, you probably should have did this here. Maybe you could have did this. The last time I was like in the studio was over the summer with Tom Flannery and
the Shillelaghs.
And the Shillelaghs.
Yes.
I did backing vocals on 3 songs of that album.
Great album.
And I was basically, there just hanging out at first. And then Tom was like, hey, do some back. You got ideas for backing vocals? Do some. So I was like, okay. So then when I get asked, do you have ideas? I have ideas and I can't stop. But and especially, and maybe it's like part of being the engineer thing, because you sit there for so long listening to bands, it's like you can't help but say, what you think is right or what you think will work.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that Shillelaghs album has not left my car since I got it.
I'm not just saying this because I play on it and because Tom and Wiggy and all those guys are my friends, but like it's literally the best rock album I think of the last decade.
It's amazing. Yeah. Are you ever surprised when you're writing your own songs that you get inspired sometimes by the tiniest, most insignificant little thing, and then do you get this thing where you feel like you have to write it right now or you'll forget it?
I absolutely get the thing right, because if I don't write it, I forget it. I have to either get the voice recorder in my phone and do that, or a little scrap of paper. I mean, I've had songs where I remember one song I wrote called "For Mercy." It's off my second album. I was working, and I used to work for Dixon City Borough, and I was on the recycling truck that day. I was there just throwing a can in the truck, and I had an idea. I was like, crap, what do I do? And I was looking in the truck, do we have anything? We had a napkin and a little piece of paper that barely had a little pencil that barely had a point on it. And I was able to scribble the first verse down, and I had it, and I finished it when I got home that night.
Wow.
But if I don't get it down in some way, I just completely lose it. It's gone.
It was just me. Okay, good. No. I feel less crazy now. And it's just it hits you and you have to get it out.
No, you have
to. Kinked up garden hose.
And I probably lost more good ideas than I've written. And that's the sad part.
That is maddening.
Yes, it is.
What's the biggest compliment for you to get on your original songs that you like hearing?
Just that people can relate to the stuff. I don't really write. I don't write anything specifically about any one thing, or I don't really write too much about people or anything like that. I write more about emotions. I write about feelings that are brought about by situations and things like that. Just stuff people can relate to, because not everybody can relate to "I love you" or driving in my car or whatever.
Right.
I don't write about girls or cars or love or anything like that. I write about life stuff. You know what I mean? That's just.
You don't?
No, not really.
This interview's over.
Yeah, I know.
What advice would you give to younger musicians, in their teens, starting out? What are some mistakes you made that you can keep them from making? Since you've been in the studio side of it, live music side of it, all of it.
Have fun. That's the first thing.
Yes.
Because when I first got started out, I did not have fun. I took it way too seriously.
Amen.
Way too seriously. I thought oh my God, my first band's gonna be the last band I'm ever in. We're gonna have a hit, and we're gonna be huge. We're gonna be rock stars.
Yep.
And we didn't even know how to tie our shoes, let alone play our instruments. It was crazy.
And you find yourself missing out on the fun.
Yeah, exactly. And you just get so caught up in oh man, we didn't get on this show. Well, so what, you didn't get on that show? Get on another show, or you didn't, oh man, I wish we could have did this. Well, do something else. You know what I mean? You get so caught up in the little stupid things that you lose out on the bigger picture. Music's supposed to be fun.
Yes.
If it feels like a job, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Amen. Amen to that. Do you feel like social media has helped or hindered? Do you feel like it's helping musicians because of the exposure, or it's such a toilet that it's making it less about
You are
music?
asking me awesome questions about stuff that I think about all the time. All right, so let me just give a tiny bit of background. I'm 35 years old. So
I thought you were a lot younger than that.
No.
Okay.
No, I wish. I'm 35 years old. When I started out, I was 17, 18. So it was the early 2000s. This is before YouTube, before MySpace, before Facebook. This is when if you wanted to promote a show, you had to print out flyers, you had to hand out tapes to people. We actually handed out tapes before CDs even, because we were poor. But, like, it's, you know what? It's great, all the social media stuff, like Instagram. I just recently got on Instagram, and I actually like Instagram more than Facebook. I can't explain it. And I really don't post a lot on it, but like
fighting on Facebook.
Yeah, not only that, but like I just feel like Instagram, it's like it's bite-sized little chunks. It's like a little picture and a little, 2-sentence blurb about something. Like, here's a link, check this out, whatever.
Yes.
I don't know, I feel like it's a little more immediate. But like I think social media is good, but I think that like a lot of people put all their eggs in that basket and think, well, this is all I have to do. I'll just put it on there. If you build it, they will come kind of attitude.
Sure.
And you still got to get out there somehow.
You have to have the output, the product.
Yeah.
You can't just promote yourself.
Yeah. Like the thing is with the internet is like you have the potential to reach millions of people. That doesn't mean you're going to reach millions of people. You might reach 10 people. You know what I mean?
Amen. Or it doesn't mean you should, Kim Kardashian. I mean, some people, they get, huge exposure, and what do they do with it? And I'm just teasing. She actually does some good things with hers.
Yeah.
But, learn how to milk it for your own purposes.
Yes.
And then there is such a thing as overposting. Don't you think? Like some of these bands, they post like 10 times a day. And you're going, I haven't even watched your first video.
Well, I have to, like, the one thing I think that was the worst thing that social media did as far as music and bands go is that, like, especially in the days of MySpace, I don't see too much nowadays because I think maybe people have gotten a little wise to that. But like when MySpace came out, it seemed like there was a new band forming every other week.
Yes.
It was like a kid got a guitar for Christmas, and the next week he's in a band. He's playing at the local rec center, and he's
got a photo shoot done.
Yeah, and it's like when I was first starting out, like myself and my friend Brian, we were starting out, and we'd been in bands, and we'd been doing this for a while. Like we were starting out solo at that time, and we were trying to get our footing, and like we couldn't get gigs because these like fly-by-night bands were forming and breaking up like a week later and getting all the gigs, and it was like. It was frustrating.
How dare you?
Yeah.
You're just in this
and it's not that I'm saying, and everybody needs to start somewhere, and I absolutely understand that. I'm not knocking anybody for doing anything, but it's like at the same time, you would look at a lot of these bands and be like, really? Seriously? Like, come on.
Yeah. Are you in touch with any of the guys you played with back in the day in your first band?
Sadly, both of the guitarists in my first band passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I talked to the drummer a little bit on Facebook here and there. I think he lives on Long Island now or something like that.
Does he still play?
No, he doesn't. Like
Isn't it weird how many people you lose, like not lose in life, but like lose as musicians and they just stop playing?
I'm literally like probably one of the last people I know, like from when I was starting out, that's actually still doing something.
Get out.
Like, which is crazy because when I started out, I would like look up to these people, like they were like, oh my God, like I hope I could be as good as them one day. And like now they're not doing it anymore. They're not around, or
Why do I find such an element of sadness in that?
It is
even
sad.
Our old bass player, when I lived in Michigan, I would say it like he died or something, and I had to catch myself. I'm like, no, we lost him to his family. Like, no, he left us, and it's like it's not sad. That's actually really
it's not
happy
sad.
thing.
I mean, I understand people move on, and and in truth, the guy that was the drummer in my first band, like he was a drummer in another band after that, and I actually engineered those guys. I engineered an EP for them, and I was good friends with them. He went away to college, and like. I think he's got a family now. It's like he's want to move on from that phase in his life. He'd done it for a while. And he's like, okay, I'm good probably. I can't speak for him, but I'm imagining that's probably what he said. He's probably, I'm good. Yeah. I did the thing for a while.
And that makes sense when you put it that way. Maybe I project because I know that my motivations for quitting would be very, very sad ones. And somebody else's might be great ones. So I should quit doing that. You make an excellent point, my friend.
Yeah.
What is the next year for you? What would you like to do more of, less of? Where would you like to be in a year?
I'd like to, honestly, I've been focusing a lot on radio, and I think I was talking to you about that the last time we spoke, doing stuff like this, because I don't know, a lot of people underestimate the power of radio. I still believe in radio. I still believe in radio. I do, and I'm not going to mention any other radio stations' names on this radio station, obviously.
I like all the ones locally, even competitors. Let that be known. I think you're right. People don't realize that there is a lot of power in radio.
Yes, there is. And and the thing is if there wasn't, then why would people still be advertising on it? Somebody's listening to it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even if not a lot of people are listening to it, it's just another outlet to get your stuff out to. You know what I mean? I feel like as far as like live shows go, like I do what I can, but like honestly, for original music, if you're just playing strictly original, there's really nothing around here. And I hate to say that, unless you want to play open mics all the time. And I like open mics. I'm not knocking open mics. But I think it's sad because I see a lot of people on Facebook, they'll be posting like, I'm playing tonight, and it's an open mic, and they're promoting it like it's their gig. It's like, it's not your gig.
Yeah.
It's an open mic. And I get it. I understand.
And that's awesome, but
but it's like, man, it's not your gig, you know? But like this past year, I played a lot of new venues, and like just a couple months ago, I did the Electric City Music Conference, and then before that, I did the Underground Microphone Series at the Scranton Cultural Center. So that was really cool. I never got to do it before. And like, so as far as shows, like if I could get shows at places I haven't played before or do showcases I haven't done already, I'd be more than happy to do that. But like, as far as shows, I'm kind of like, just if it comes along, it comes along right now.
That's a great attitude.
You know what I mean? And like, I would really like just promote more like on radio and like just promote my my catalog online. And
because you do have a lot of songs, you have a lot of product. If someone wants to
I do.
get the Hludzik box set, I mean, there's a lot to listen to.
The box sets.
And it's probably hard to plan with the kid who's 4 too. I mean, there's a lot of question marks in your schedule.
That's another thing too. Yeah, and it's like, and I'm not using the kid as an excuse, but it's like,
but it's a fact.
Even if I didn't have the kid, I'd still have the same attitude. It's like, I see a lot of bands around here, and it's like, and again, not knocking anybody, they'll play like the same 3 venues all the time. It's like, yeah, we drew all these people. It's like, yeah, but it's the same people and it's the same place. Are you really gaining any traction? It's like, yeah, it's great. All your friends came out to see you at the local bar down the street, but like, it's the same people. Right. If I want to play a gig, I would like to play. I don't know. I like to be challenged. Like, I like to go into a room where nobody knows who I am, and I don't even know if they're going to like me. That, to me, I welcome that.
Amen.
I don't want to go in there and be like shooting fish in a barrel. You know what I mean?
I love to win people over.
Yeah.
That's a really great feeling. And what a lot of these younger musicians don't realize, no matter who you are, some of your fan base will deplete once you reach a certain age.
Yes,
if you
absolutely.
haven't AKA made it.
Well, it's just like all the punk kids and stuff from back in the early 2000s, the punk and the scene kids, the emo kids. They're all grown up and they all have corporate jobs and families now. It's like they're not going out to the shows anymore. You know what I mean?
Nothing wrong with it.
No, nothing. Absolutely. But just like we were talking about before, it all comes back around.
Yep. This song that you sent me, the Nicholson Bridge, AKA Bigger Than Us All. Love it. What was the inspo for this song?
When I was younger, my father would take us for rides through the country, and we'd go up and we'd see the Nicholson Bridge. And I was just always fascinated with it from a young age. And as I got older, I wanted to learn more about it because I'm a history buff. I'm a huge history buff. Which, by the way, if any educators are listening, they used to have PA history. When I was in 4th grade, they had PA history, and they stopped it like after a year. And I wish they didn't because I thought it was so cool.
What is that?
It was just like it was a Pennsylvania history. The book was like made about like that.
It's a book. I thought you meant a show or something.
No. It was like an actual course they taught.
It's got to be in a library around here.
It's got to be, but like they used to teach it as a course in school when I was in elementary school, and they like stopped after like a year or 2 or something like that. I was like, I don't know why. I thought it was so cool.
That's too bad.
Maybe they thought there wasn't enough around here, even though we've had like so much history in this area. It's ridiculous. But as I got older, I wanted to learn more about the bridge because everybody just I think it's something that people have kind of taken for granted. They just drive past like, there's the Nicholson Bridge.
Yeah.
But like they don't realize how long it took to build, how many people it took to build it, the fact that all those people that built it were unskilled. They'd never done anything like that before. The fact that, a lot of them died building it, just the effect it had on the industries in the area and the effect it had in that town. I just wanted to kind of tell that side of the story.
Yeah.
Because people just look at it and say, oh, it's a bridge. But, it's more than a bridge. There's a lot of, like one thing I say in the song is in one of the last verses, I say, about how many people died building the bridge. Then 30 people died. Now, 300 people worked on the bridge. Now, 30, you think, well, that's not a lot, but that's 1/10 of your workforce. If 1/10 of your workforce died today, that would be like headline news. But back then, nobody batted an eye. So, we'll replace them. Because people were dying in the coal mines and stuff all the time. So it was commonplace back then. But that was the time period. That was just the way it was. And I just thought that was so fascinating to kind of go back and look at it from those perspectives.
That makes me appreciate the song and the bridge even more. Wow, just hearing you talk about it. Okay, one more final question.
Okay.
And then I'll let you go. Tell me everywhere to find you online because I want everyone to just pimp you out to the heavens.
Okay. If you want, the easiest thing is to go to chrishludzik.com and go to the links page, and everything is on there. My YouTube page, my SoundCloud, my Bandcamp. If you want to stream or download my discography, you can go to chrishludzik.bandcamp.com, and everything is like stupid cheap on there. Like it's like I'm pretty much giving it away. So like there's no reason to at least not give it a listen. Give it a listen at least.
You can't beat that with the bat. And
No.
yes, I'll put the correct spelling of his name on our page with this podcast. Don't you worry. Okay, I'm going to make you intro your song. So in your best solid gold radio voice.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I have to give you props because you acknowledged that it was a radio edit when you sent that song to me. Do you know how few musicians get that you should be telling DJs whether or not it's a radio edit?
It's not. I mean, it's not edited. That's the full version of the song.
But it is a safe edit.
But it's a safe. There's no curse words in the song. I don't have really curses in the song. Yes, I did because I felt that was important.
Respect. All right, let's play it.
And now here's the new single from Chris Hludzik, "The Nicholson Bridge, Bigger Than Us All" on 98.5 KRZ.
All work, no more play. Gotta move them out today. Here to there is too damn long for the train whistle to cry its song. They should be fast, not just strong. Here to there is too damn long. So if we can't ride over, we'll just ride through. Our method is tried and true. And if we can't ride through, we'll just ride on top. No need to slow down, no need to stop. So gather your fathers and brothers too. Lord knows that there's a job to do. Get your sons and cousins, the order is tall. This bridge is bigger than us all. Gotta move them out today. We're sure to find a better way. All work, no more play. Gotta move them out today. Blood in the concrete, sweat on our brows. We never knew and we never learned how. It didn't matter, it was all for the goal of moving people, iron and coal. So if they can't ride over, we'll just dig through. This method is tried and true. And if they can't ride through, we'll just build on top. We won't slow down until we drop. 3 long years we toiled in pain for an arched great tower amongst the plain. No fame or fortune, but we answered the call. This bridge is bigger than us all. Gotta move them out today. There's got to be a better way. I'll work, no more play. Gotta move them out today. Sleepy town in the north put its youngest and strongest forth to ensure that the railroad line makes the trip all in good time. So now they all ride over and they all ride through. Some said it was too good to be true. And when they all ride through, they all wait from the top. No need to slow down, no need to stop. 30 dead, maybe more, all lost to this industrial war. The tears like rain did fall on the bridge bigger than us all. Gotta move them out today. They finally found a better way. So high was the price to pay just to move them out today.